This is Crown Royal IROC 28, and when you're chasing $1 million, every inch of racetrack counts. There it is, way down to the inside. There's the move. Kurt Busch with Ryan Newman on the outside. Jimmie Johnson and Steve Kinser, but it's 4-on-2. They fan out with Busch trying to block to the bottom. Pushes that car down to the inside of the racetrack, but Newman squeezes through. Newman with the first win, round 1 at Daytona, but Texas was a different story. Lasoski is going to wire round 2 of Crown Royal IROC 28. The dude did his green to checkered donuts for the World of Outlaws contention. And now, for the first time in Crown Royal IROC history, a short track race. The points are deadlocked and only 2 races remain in the quest for the million. We come to a track where many of these 12 drivers cut their teeth. Tracks just like this one, Richmond International Raceway, the Crown Royal IROC Series in its 28th year at its halfway point. And the crowd expects a battle, and they will get one from 12 of the best in the business. Knotted at the top of the point standings, and that means at the back of the grid, Kevin Harvick and Ryan Newman tied for the point lead, just one ahead of Danny Lasoski and Jimmie Johnson. The 12 drivers will start in the inverse of their point standing position. So J.J. Yeley, representing USAC, starts alongside Scott Dixon in row 1. Scott Sharp shares row 2 with the defending Cup champ Matt Kenseth. Row 3, and they'll all be carrying their car numbers and colors like the cars and trucks they drive in the case of Travis Kvapil and Helio Castroneves. Steve Kinser skipping an outlaw race tonight in California to be here, and Kurt Busch, and of course the 97. Row 5, Jimmie Johnson, number 48, and Danny Lasoski from the World of Outlaws, the Texas race winner. And in the last row, tied for the point lead, Ryan Newman and Kevin Harvick. Now the back row was scheduled to be Newman and Harvick, the point leaders, but Yeley's gone to the tail end with Jimmie Johnson, moving the point leaders to row 5. Green flag, Crown Royal IROC 28, round 3. $1 million at the end of the rainbow, 90 laps.
And there is no question Kevin Harvick in the 29 car, Ryan Newman in the 12. They're going to try to make their move early. They're 2 by 2, 3 wide down the back straightaway.
3 wide, but right now Scott Sharp is out front, and he's looking to try to distance himself away from these guys before they get to beating on his back bumper too soon.
3 abreast off turn 4. I didn't think you could do that here.
Ryan Newman in the 12 car is already up to the 4th position, the blue car right there.
What did Harvick say? He was going to pinball his way up through the field?
The guy you might want to watch is that yellow car, the 17 on it. That's Matt Kenseth. He's got a lot of experience on these short tracks, and they say he was really good in practice the other day, talking to some of the IROC officials.
That was Helio Castroneves, who kissed the wall, as he described it. Liked it so much, he went back out and did it again. Yeah,
what was so funny about that, you talk about Helio Castroneves, he came in and he was telling the IROC officials, hey, when you talk to the reporters, don't tell them that I hit the wall. Tell them I kissed the wall, and I kissed it very gently. Later on, he did it again. Well, I liked it so much, I went back and I wanted to kiss it one more time.
See Jimmie Johnson right there in the 48 car, the blue car, pulling inside of Scott Sharp in the 8 car that he's going to take away the 4th position. You know, just a second ago we were riding with Kevin Harvick, and he's not made that big of a gain here in the last few laps, but I just wonder if this is part of the strategy. Dave Marcus, we talked about him, and Kevin Harvick knows it, that you can't abuse these tires. If you ever abuse the right front tire or the right rear tire, it will not come back with you, and this is the tire that the Nextel Cup cars ran last year.
Have Newman and Kenseth forgotten that? I mean, they're running really hard, Jeff.
They really look like they are, Mike, as far as, but the field is very patient right now. They're just kind of keeping these guys in sight. And if you notice, behind Matt Kenseth, Ryan Newman, followed by Kurt Busch, as well as, it looks to me, like in 4th place, Jimmie Johnson. All these guys are Nextel Cup drivers, so they should understand to be patient.
Matt Kenseth is still our leader. Behind him, everything has changed. Kurt Busch is now 2nd. Jimmie Johnson's 3rd. Ryan Newman back to 4th. Scott Sharp continues to hold off Scott Dixon. Castroneves has passed Harvick and Kvapil. J.J. Yeley is 10th, and Lasoski has made his move. He's up to 11th. Let's show you what happened.
This like to have been big a while ago. Kevin Harvick in the 29 car on the outside, trying to go around Scott Dixon. Scott Dixon's car moved up just a little bit, and we almost had our first caution.
Yeah, I'd say he was the pinball, and Dixon was the flipper.
Yeah, Scott Dixon cars, the one car got real loose. It got up into Kevin Harvick.
Jeffy, we're under caution here in the third round of IROC. Either Danny Lasoski had a big problem in turn 2, or he saw Matt Kenseth coming, and he did racing's version of drawing the offensive foul.
He was in verge of going a lap down. You see Matt Kenseth right there behind him. But remember, just like in NASCAR, when the caution comes out, the field is frozen. Riding with Kurt Busch here in the 97 car, you can see it happen right in front of him. You see the caution lights come on. Well, what they do, though, when the caution comes out, they go back to the last completed lap.
So, no harm, no foul. And on top of that, guys, don't forget, Larry, we found out today that in the IROC garage area, the tires they put on Danny Lasoski's car, they will probably have approximately 35 laps on them. So he will not get an unfair advantage from 4 brand new tires.
That's all right. Don't forget that a caution flag evens up the whole field. As still for second place, they're side by side. Now, is there a point at which Newman will have to give this up to save some tire? Oh, turn 2, the wall, close call. Travis Kvapil almost got into the wall in turn 2. Back to second place, where Newman edges in front of Johnson. Now Johnson edges in front of Newman.
Mike, he beats him getting in the corner. He just can't seal the deal from the center out. Look right there how far he goes off in the middle of 1 and 2. But right there, Johnson is able to pick the throttle up in the 48 car so much sooner.
But Ryan Newman is slowly but surely figuring out this outside lane, Larry, and he's starting to make it work a little bit more off the corner each lap.
The more he runs there, the more rubber he puts down there for himself to run in.
Kurt Busch stalking second and third place. And guess what? The whole field is coming to them as they battle side by side.
Definitely has to do with their cockpit. Seat adjustment, pedal steering, things of that nature.
Comfort items.
We've got 9 laps to go, so if you're holding anything, now's the time to kind of cut it loose and see if you can reel yourself in a position or 2 and gain some ground.
You know, the guy that has surprised me just a little bit is Kevin Harvick in that 29 car. He has faded just a little bit from second, third, and fourth.
Dixon under pressure from Castroneves.
Larry, I still go back and say, the contact that he had between he and Dixon may have affected that race car. Even though he's able to close up on those guys when they got back in single file, he couldn't get them. Right now, we're getting ready to get a challenge from looks like for third place here. Outside is going to be Kurt Busch trying to make a move on Jimmie Johnson off of turn 4.
Well, he knew if he just kept following Jimmie Johnson in the 48, that's what he was going to do, was follow him. I don't have anybody putting pressure behind me. Let me go up there and try something. And he got a good run off turn 2 down the back straightaway. They're side by side.
Busch had to burp it just a little bit coming off the corner to keep him running out of racetrack. But he's going to wheel around Jimmie Johnson.
His car works good up there right now, it looks like, in that second groove, Mike.
There is Kenseth, or rather Newman, second to Newman. Newman 2.7 seconds back. Kurt Busch, Jimmie Johnson, Kevin Harvick, Scott Sharp, the first half dozen. 2 to go.
Yeah, this would be a good night for Kurt Busch, who came in here 5th in points, only 9 points out of the lead in that 97 car.
And after Atlanta, someone will get $1 million. White flag. This is it. The field not spread out, but the position's pretty well decided. If nobody has a problem, Kenseth, Newman, Kurt Busch, Jimmie Johnson, Kevin Harvick will be the front 5. Climbing to second in the points, edging 1 step closer to the $1 million, Matt Kenseth wins round 3, the first ever Crown Royal IROC short track race.
Ryan Newman second, Kurt Busch third, Jimmie Johnson 4th, Kevin Harvick 5th. Looks like Scott Sharp will be 6th, J.J. Yeley 7th, Castroneves 8th, Dixon 9th, Lasoski 10th, Kvapil 11th, and Steve Kinser, after falling out, will finish 12th.